Hey, good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Mad Dragons podcast, proudly sponsored by Complete Warehouse Solutions. Go see Jeff and the team at 6 Commerce Drive, Lake Illawarra. Over 100 years of combined experience to fit out your warehouse project and all warehousing needs. Call them on 0417 223 409 or 4257 1930.
Just sit right back and hear it tell the other podcast crew. You gather around and watch a drink, you give me a point of view. As man is a pound fly, he shows that he has fun. And Donnie, our host, will jump along. God must do the storm. God must do the storm. Big teams are rocky, keeps us cool. He often gets his say. And just like he knows the girls, he'll never get Dragon's way. Never get Dragon's way. The Mad Dragon podcast is a journey unforeseen. With man and Donnie to the with Make Tea and Coco. Just the star, Muzza and the other crew. Here on the Mad Dragon podcast.
Okay, good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Mad Dragons podcast. So tonight we are looking at the head of the game, a round 7 game against the New Zealand Warriors. So I'll throw over to you, Hasman, who will run us through the Dragon side that Flano named earlier this afternoon.
All right, so here's how we'll line up against the Warriors this week. There are a couple of changes which we'll go through with Jack Bird's failing an HIA and basically being rubbed out for the next 11 days. So Tyrell Sloan is the fullback. Christian Tuapolatu comes onto the wing for his first grade debut with the Dragons. So that means that Zach Lomax finally gets his way and moves into the centres with Moses Sully. Ravalawa is on the other wing as usual. Flanagan and Ben Hunter, the halves. In the forward pack, we got Francis Molo and Hame Saleh. The hooker is Jacob Little. The second rowers are Raymond Fatala Mariner and Jaden Sewer. The lock is Tom Eisenhuth. And on the interchange bench, Jesse Marshke, Blake Laurie, Jack DeBellin, and Ben Murdoch-Masila. And on the extended bench, Michael Mullo, Matt Fine, Toby Couchman, Viliami Fafita, and our brand new signing, Farmanu Brown, and the coach is Shane Flanagan.
Yep, as well you mentioned, the referee will be Jared Sutton, and demoted referee Casey Badger will be one of the touch judges. Hasman.
Yeah, point of order, Jesse. She has not been demoted. The referees are being rotated. Having said that, Casey Badger should be rotated down to under sevens, but they've just been sort of given a week on, week off kind of thing. So it's nothing to do with how crap she was last week.
What, nothing to do with Uncle Dez's complaint?
No, not at all. He doesn't have that much sway anymore.
All right. So that's a little bit. That's enough talk about our team for a little bit. But we'll bring in our guest, and we'll bring in Big T, who will run us through. Introduce our guest and run us through the way the Warriors will line up.
Come with me as we go behind enemy lines.
G'day Dragons fans, I'm Big T and this is Behind Enemy Lines Round 7. Dragons versus the Warriors. Before I bring on our guest, here's the Warriors team. Chance Nickel Cook started at the back, Dylan Martinez is Esniak, Rocco Berry, Roger Tuivasa-Sheck, and Marcelo Montoya on the other wings. Tamare Martin, 5'8". Sean Johnson is the halfback for Newell Blake. Wade Egan and Mitch Barnett up front. Jackson Ford, Kurt Capewell, and Taylor Harris locks the scrum. On the bench is Harris Tavita, Tom Arley, Jacob Laban, and Adam Pompey. 18th man, Zion Mauhuyu. It's a big name to say. He's a 20-year-old, 183 centimetre or 106 kilos, born in New Zealand. Okay, I'll bring in our guest now. Christian, how are you, brother? From Warriors NRL Fanatics on YouTube.
Yep, I'm good. I hope everyone else is doing very well. Yeah, it's good to be back on the channel again. Great to be invited back. So yeah, appreciate the invite, and looking forward to this game on Friday night as our boys troll over there to the Gong to take on the Dragons. Where we last year came over here, and I think we got some success, first success in a long time. We generally don't have the greatest records against the Dragons there in Wollongong, but it's great to be able to head back over there and take on you guys this week, which I think should be a good game. Yeah.
Great to have the footy back too. Fantastic. Oh, you started last year. You guys done pretty well. You finished within one of the grand final. Were you surprised, or you knew that was going to happen last year?
No, I was actually real surprised. Real surprised with the way that we went. It was Andrew Webster's first year coaching this team, and he did a great job. He got Coach of the Year as well, which was a great achievement in itself. And Sean Johnson had his best season in a very long time. And, only just came up short against Kalen Pong and the Dally M's, which personally I still don't agree with. I think Sean should have won that award personally. But, it was a great year last year. It was a great season. We made the top four. First time we made the top four since, a very long time. And the first time we made the finals in a very long time as well. And, it was a good success. Yes, we came up short in the Broncos again in that prelim final in Brisbane, a game which I attended. I was there. I went to that game. It was, we did pretty well to get to that stage, to get to the prelim final. But, we came up against a very classy Broncos side, which they were too good for us. Yeah. And I still considered it a great year. I still considered it a successful year because, we were one win short of the grand final and we made the top four. So, there is a bigger expectation this year. There's a lot more bigger expectation from the fans and the club on how we're going to go this season. So far, we're doing pretty well. We're sitting pretty well at the moment. We got a draw against the Seagulls last week, which, we had to fight our way back from 16-0 down against the Seagulls at home. So,
that was a massive fight back last week. Slow start. You lost to Melbourne. You lost to Cronulla. Cronulla lost to Melbourne. Melbourne must have been a heartbreaker. I know when we get beat by that, like that, it's a heartbreaker for me. So when
special try from Coates.
When Xavier Coates went over in the corner there, you must have been crying.
Oh, I was shattered, man. I was very gutted because I felt like we were very close to getting our first win over the Storm in years. We haven't beaten Melbourne. We have a shocking record over Melbourne over the past couple of years, and we've never won in Melbourne in a long time. So it looked like it was going to happen. It looked like we were going to break that long barrel run of hoodoo against the Storm in Melbourne, and we just came up short. We just came up against that, that fight back, that comeback from Melbourne. That tried to pack and then Xavier Coates. Yeah, boy.
That was a freakish try. He's a freak, that bloke.
Yep.
Yeah. Triple barrel names over at the Warriors seem to be the fancy. You've got RTS, CHT, TMM, AFB, DWZ. Well, I'm a bit of a triple name person myself. Tony Owen to Saints. So, is there something special that the Warriors look for in triple barrel players?
Yeah, definitely. Because the likes of Chance, Nick Cookstad, he's only been back for a couple of weeks now, and he has had he's been really strong, very strong. And I know a lot of people were wondering whether RTS should be moved back to fullback, and Webby's been very high on keeping Chance at fullback, when he gets back. And Chance is showing it why he is the fullback for a reason, and he's performing very well. So then you got Dallin there on the wing there. He's very strong, and he had a great year last year as well, being up there in the top try scorers last season. So, our backline, we've got a very strong backline. I'm very happy with our backline at the moment. Rocky Berry's come on leaps and bounds this year, really the most improved player, in my opinion, right now. And, he's doing a good job there as well. So, unfortunate about Luke Metcalf. It was a shame because Metcalf was playing some great footy. Just a real gutting to see a young bloke like Metcalf, get that injury. And he has had some injury setbacks before Metcalf. So, but we got Tamari Martin there.
You got the experience of Tamari Martin coming in to cover him. And those triple-barreled name players, they're all top players. They're all your best players. I have noticed one thing though. In your first 2 games, there was a player who didn't play, and in the next 4 games he played. And this week he's out. Jazz Tavanga. What do you lose without Jazz and also Bunty in the side?
So I have picked up a few injuries to the side at the moment, especially our forwards. Our depth, I think, right now is personally the best it's probably been in a while. We haven't had the stronger bit of depth. So in the past, I would have said that if Bunty was out, Jazz was out, I'd be concerned. I'd be a bit worried. But right now, we've got some good young players coming through, and you saw that with Jacob Laban coming off the bench. He's a very good young talent, and I think this week, especially, we got there Zion Mago, who's named the 18th man jersey, but I think he will make his debut this weekend. I see him making his debut in the NRL this weekend, this Friday night against you guys, because I think he'll come onto the bench for Adam Pompey, because I don't think we will, have an outside back there on the bench. I think that's how I think that the whole team will look come kick-off time. So, no doubt the depth will be tested in the forwards over the next couple of weeks, but I think we've pretty much got ourselves covered with the area at the moment. So that's what I think.
Who are your superstars? We all know who the superstars are, but just run us through Sean Johnson, Roger Tuivasa-Sheck, Aiden Fanua-Blake. I wish we had got him, but he went to Cronulla. But they're superstar players, and I say you're going to say that they're going to attack us through those areas, like Aiden Fanua-Blake through the middle, Johnson on the edge. Yeah,
I would definitely say that too, because Dallin definitely, I think you're just looking at your outside backs. You guys got some. I think you guys got some pretty handy outside backs in itself, but I feel like our backline. It's just my point of view that I think our backline's definitely got probably the better backline. So you guys got Zach Lomax. You guys got Zach Lomax. Zach Lomax is playing there in the centres this week, which is a real interesting change there up by Shane Flanagan there. It's a bit of a Zach Lomax, he's been playing great footy this year. He's been in great form, and as you guys know that he's heading off to Para next season. So it's a bit of a blow for you guys, but he's a great player, very very strong centre, and he's been playing a lot on the wing for you guys this season. So it's a bit of a change up for you guys, having him back in that centre position. So
it's probably the logical change. To be honest, Christian, I mean, having a look at the centres we got in the lower grades, we put one of those guys in. RTS in particular has an absolute bloody field day. So for mine, Lomax was the logical choice. He's, that is his sort of favoured position. That's where he's been playing for most of his career so far. So it just makes sense to me to stick him back in there.
And Tuapolotu has NRL experience as well.
Yeah.
Experience with Manly, but experience nonetheless.
Yes.
All right, anyone else got a question for Christian? Rob? Dragon?
Christian, very impressed with RTS's return from rugby union to rugby league. At his age, he just seems like he's never left the game. And I think he's a massive inclusion for you guys moving forward, to be in the top 4, to compete for the grand final. His experience, his determination, and his passion. You can see the players really get behind him as a senior player. They get behind the players as well too. So, mate, impressed with him. And then we've got one gentleman on the panel who really loves Jackson Ford. So,
Yeah.
and mate, he's starting, and I think he's been a very good pickup for the Warriors, to be honest with you. And another sad loss of the Dragons. We're talking about Lomax here leaving. There's a few players like Jackson Ford that have gone to other clubs and probably become a stronger player at the Warriors than he was at the Dragons.
And he's another local junior too, Rob.
Yeah. So we seem to be losing these players, and they seem to be playing their best football at other clubs.
So you guys went with him one last year, and the players that you picked up this year only complemented the team.
Kurt Capewell.
Kurt Capewell. Last year you picked up Mitch Barnett, and a couple of others, and I've tipped the Warriors to win the comp this year. So,
and to have Kurt Capewell coming off the bench, I mean, what a player to come off the bench. I mean, that's just as solid as you can get as a bench player. So he'd be starting in a lot of other teams, in the
he's in the starting team this week.
He is starting. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I thought he was on the bench. So, but I mean, wow, good pickup.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. If you whack it up there, Jess, this is the time of the night where I normally take a walk down memory lane. This week's walk, we go back to. Where did I go? This week's walk. Jeebus, Jess, leave it alone. I can do it.
Okay.
Dragons versus Warriors, Win Stadium, round 25, 2011. Crowd 15,732. Referee Ashley Klein and Ben Cummins. We'll just run through the teams. We've got Darius Boyd, Brett Morris, Mark Gasnier, Cooper, and Jason Nightingale, our back five. Jamie Sowden, Ben Horniman in halves, Dan Hunt, Mitch Rain, and Michael Horse-Wayman in the front row. Bo Scott, Ben Cray, and Dean Young locks the scrum. Matt Pryor, Trent Merrin, John Green, and Nathan Feen on the bench. Coached by Wayne Bennett. The Warriors side was Kevin Locke, Billy Tupu, Joel Moon. I think Joel Moon played for the Dragons somewhere. I didn't look it up, but he played for the Dragons, I think. Berrigan, Inu, Maloney, and Johnson in the centres.
Yep.
Sam Rapira, Aaron Jeremiah, Jacob Lilliam in the front row. Isaiah Taylor, Simon Marining, and Michael Luck. Michael Luck locks the scrum. Oh, listen, after 5 straight losses, the Dragons needed a win. They were leading the comp 2 months earlier. Now if they lose this game, they're out. They're gone. See you later. Ben Hornby kicks off, and oh my God, Ben Hornby kicks out in the full. Uncharacteristic Eric from Ben. He's the Dragons captain. He won't do that again, will he? 6th minute, ball to Inu on the wing, scores in the corner. Warriors 4, Dragons 0. 9th minute, can you believe it? He kicks the ball down on the full again. Like I said before, he won't do it again. Forget I said that. He did it again. Straight away, Warriors score. Warriors score a try through Kevin Locke. Warriors lead 10-0 inside 10 minutes. It's crazy. 18th minute, shimmy whoosh. Mark Gasnier from offload from Bo Scott catches the Warriors defence unsuspecting. They had their backs turned. They were setting up for the next play, and his speed just got him through the line. Warriors 10-4. 24th minute, B. Moss scores a try. Beautiful try it was. Where are we? I've lost my line. B. Moss scores 10-all. Just like that, it's 10-all. Here we go. Kevin Locke scores a try, runs across the field, passes to Billy Tupu. Warriors 16-10, halftime. 47th minute, Darius Boyd grubber kicks, gets the ball back after a Billy Tupu error, scores. 16 all after 50. Jamie Soward penalty goal. Dragons lead for the first time, 18-16. 54 minutes gone. 57th minute, 3 minutes later, Jason Nightingale gets the ball. The ball goes from Fiend to Young to Hornbridge, Soward to Gaznia, offload to Jason Nightingale, who crashes into the lock and tiptoes across the precipice of the field and scores in the corner. 10 to go. A lapse in concentration from the Dragons led to the next Warriors try. 24-22. And in the 78th minute, Ben Madalino messes around in the play of the ball, gets 10 minutes in the sin bin. Jamie Soward converts the goal, kicks 5 from 6 for the day. Full time, Dragons 26, Warriors 22. Thanks for taking a walk down memory lane. That was behind enemy lines. I hope you enjoyed them. The rest is history. Back to you, Jess.
Yeah, thank you, Big T. And I'll leave the last say with you, Christian. So, what are you predicting in the game on Friday? And you can give your podcast a bit of a shout as well.
Yep. So I'm predicting definitely us, the boys here, to get the win. And sorry guys, but I'm going to have to pick a big win here. Yeah. So I'm going to go with the Warriors here to win 30 points to 10. So yeah, 30 points to 10. And yeah, you guys can check me out. Go and follow me on all the platforms. I'm on Instagram, YouTube, Warriors NRL Fanatics. Just search that up and yeah, go and give me a subscribe there. So thanks guys for having me on. Really appreciate it. And
Thanks,
yeah, all the best for the game and all the best for the rest of the season as well.
Thanks, brother.
Thank you, Christian. And if we do play later in the year too, we'll hope to get you back on later
Won't
in the
be
year.
till the semis if that happens.
And Warriors, mate. Oh, we don't play them again. We don't go to New Zealand this year.
We don't go to New Zealand this year.
We'll see you in the semis then.
Yep. See you then. Yep.
All right.
Yeah, great having Christian on, and yeah, well, thanks for having him on once again. So we'll move into our team now. So we'll go to that a little bit later, but I will go to our next segment of the night, which is. Okay, so my question for this evening for JAGs Dragons Trivia. So in 2010, we played the Warriors over at Mount Smart Stadium. That was called back then. We played the Warriors over there. We won the game 22 points to 20. So my question is, in that game, was it one of our thrilling games against the Warriors? Name who scored the winning try for the Dragons that day. By the way, in the comments, get your thinking caps on and think who would have been in our team that year. And as you know, we went on to win the grand final that year. So get your thinking caps on and have a think who might have scored the winning try for the Dragons in that particular game in 2010. And while we are waiting, Grant Rower, he's straight onto it.
Yeah,
Grant Rower. So that is correct. Jamie Soward scored the winning try to get the Dragons 22-20 win over the Warriors in Auckland.
Peter Placidia Valencia just missed out.
Yep.
Sorry,
just
Pete.
Seconds behind him. Your number one fan, isn't it, Big T?
I think my son's been my number one fan. If he's on there watching, hey Joe, goes to Hawaii next week. Well, it's a couple of weeks.
Nice.
And just to relive it, I'll show some highlights from that particular day.
St George Illawarra have retained pole position in the Telstra Premiership after overcoming the gritty New Zealand Warriors at Mount Smart Stadium. Teams that have thrashed one week, as the Warriors were in round 12, have made a habit in the NRL of bouncing back strongly straight away. Being able to do that against a side like the Dragons isn't going to be easy. But the home series need ample assistance from a team that's nothing like the one that's leading the Telstra Premiership. He's come up with a... The game wasn't even 2.5 minutes old when James Maloney pounced on a Saints error to give the Aucklanders a shock early lead. And then the Warriors, it's Maloney, he'll get there against the run of play. Warriors centre Brent Tate clashed hands with Ben Cray in the lead up to that try and came off second best, suffering a suspected broken jaw that will almost certainly end his season. The wet and windy weather was very much to the locals' liking, and they kept applying the pressure, coming close to another reward. A kick from John, and it's been batted back, and this could be a try. No, it's been diffused. Eventually, they had to settle for the addition of just 2 points after the Dragons were pinged for being offside near their own line. Having defended stoutly for so long, the Warriors yielded just over 90 seconds before the break. Soward, chip over the top, looking for Nightingale. Oh, brilliant, just brilliant. Jamie Soward's superb conversion from touch gave the Dragons a further lift, putting them behind by just 2. The Red Shirts began the second term like they finished the first, with Matt Cooper crossing less than 2 minutes after the resumption. Trouble, Cooper's in, just like that, Matt Cooper. He slices through. Soward then nailed another one from the extremity. A beautifully placed cross kick by Isaac John was just the tonic the Warriors needed after those dual Dragon strikes. Who's going to catch this? Does he claim the try? Yes, he does. So Saints again found themselves down by 2, and yet again they reacted by forging back-to-back 4-pointers. Morris is away. Here comes the try, and Cooper will get a double. The second of those 2 quick tries was oh so simple and oh so Soward. Soward with a step, he'll score. Too easy, Jamie Soward, he catches in. Soward's solo effort put the Dragons in the driver's seat once more. That is until Kevin Lock loped away and found support. Lock has gone through the other side, he's got back up. Here goes John, the youngster. Can he get there? Yes, yes, yes. Lancer Hire had a chance to pull it out of the fire in the final 10 after collecting a Dragon's kick, but wasn't able to locate a mate, and the chance went begging. That allowed St George Illawarra to hang on and claim an important, if not spectacular, victory by 22 points to 20, and they can now look forward to a much easier 2 points from the bye next weekend. David Rollins, Big Pond Sport.
Yeah, good year that year, as we all know. We went on to win that comp that year, but yeah, one of our closer games during the season, we edged out the Warriors, and both teams went on to play semi-finals that year, and well, of course we all know we won the comp. So we'll move on to chat about our team. So I'll go to you, Rob. So Christian Tuipulotu comes in onto the wing for his Dragons debut, pushing Zach Lomax back to his preferred position of the centres. What are you expecting from Tuipulotu's first outing in the Red B? And are you surprised Tuipulotu was chosen over like a Sione Finau or a Savelia Tamale or Max Fine, even Tom Isenhoff or even Dan Russell? So what are you expecting from Tuipulotu?
Well, not surprised he was selected. He's a pick by Flano exclusively that he got from Manly. Obviously, he was the assistant coach at Manly as well. So I spied Christian out pretty well, I suppose, when he was at Manly. I think he played a trial against Souths, but we sort of haven't seen him make his first grade debut, which will be this weekend or this Friday night. So, yeah, look, to me, it's probably the logical choice. It mightn't be the choice that we necessarily would all want. I still see it as a building season for us. Would love us, of course, like everybody else, to make top 8. But if we don't give some of these younger players a go, then we'll never know. Is it Finau? Finau, is he pronounced, Jesse?
Finau, yeah.
Yeah,
He's
very fast speedster. I think that's what we lack in our back line, with the exception of Torrell Slane and Lomax. Obviously, can be reasonably quick, but the other boys are big boys and not as quick as some of the other teams out there in the backs. So, but I think it's just logical, and then obviously that gives Lomax the chance to go back to centre. Who's been our best player all season? So I can't see that stopping in this match, and him obviously playing centre again, maybe in his 100th game. Is that correct for the Dragons?
Yep,
His
100th NRL game.
So I'd say there's a lot in favour of Zach maybe being our best player again. So, but yeah, I just hope Christian defensively steps up. That'll be my only concern. My worry, because the backs obviously, as our mate pointed out from the Warriors, are very strong, powerful, and obviously they've got some quick finishes as well too out wide. So yeah, I just hope he doesn't come in too much, because otherwise then Warriors might have a field day going around us. So yeah, Jess, but logical choice, I would say, by Flano, and he has been in the team list right for a long time as well too. The 21-man squad, so 22. It makes sense, I suppose, for him to come in as first choice. And I suppose, without making the answer too long, was 2 weeks ago he scored 4 tries, I think, in the reserve grade. 3 or 4 tries, so he's obviously got some good form going as well too. Yep.
So I'll go to you now, Hasman. So Zach Lomax, as Rob just mentioned, he'll play his 100th NRL game this weekend in front of the home crowd at Wynn Stadium. How do you think the crowd will react to him now that he's signed with Parramatta? Do you think a dip in form will happen now? Will we see him play the same form as he has been on the wing? Now he's playing his preferred position of centre?
Well, I don't think he'll get his hands on the ball as much as he has been. But no, I can't see a drop in form happening just because he's moving a little bit further infield. I don't think that's going to happen. I think he might cop a little bit of shit from some of the fans who are somewhat disappointed that he has signed with A, that he's leaving, and B, that he signed with Parramatta, because Parramatta suck. He's not going to win a comp there any quicker than he'd win one here. So he's obviously not doing it for Tyson Frizzell reasons. But yeah, I think for the most part, it'll be business as usual, and you may not see the ball quite as much, but I still think you'll still put in the same sort of effort he's been putting in, and who knows, he might even play better. Who knows?
He has been. He's going to cop shit from Jesse from Albion Park like you wouldn't believe, mate. He'll be there with flags saying Lomax in hell. Scary shit.
I'm just glad he dealt with it quick. He dealt with it quick.
Move on.
Got it out of the way now. Move on. We'll find out what sort of a bloke he is now, whether he drops in form or plays like he has been playing. So hopefully it's the latter. But
Michael Maguire even said today, at the moment, he's on the New South Wales wing. So
he's got a lot to play for.
He has. That's right.
Yeah.
You still see his passion on the field. When Kyle Flanagan scored, he was pumping the air. He was quite happy that.
And some of the things he did, that they were extraordinary.
Also, I've seen him go off at Rava too for being not in position when he passed the ball, but it was a shit ball. So I don't think it was Rava's problem.
Yeah.
And are they going to swap Pilato and Rava over? Because Tui Pilato is a left winger, and Rava's a right winger. So it does make sense. So
that'll put Tui Pilato up against DWZ if that happens.
Yeah. And Tui Pilato turns like a boat. He's not the quickest. He's not the quickest winger in the competition.
And DWZ's not a player you want to give any room to.
No.
As we found out last year.
No.
Yeah, he
Scored 4 tries on us.
What did he score 4? That's right. Yeah, last year
on Matt Finay's wing.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Lomax actually did put out a message too towards fans today. I'll bring it up anyway, but
he's not going to give up.
So here's what he said. For those that can't see it, it's pretty small, but I'll read it out anyway. So this is what he said today on his Instagram story. So Zach Lomax says, "Thanks to everyone for their messages of encouragement and support in recent times. My future is now sorted. I am 100% focused on continuing to do my absolute best for the Dragons, our supporters, and my teammates. I am determined to play my part in the club, doing our best this season." And yeah, that's what he said.
You missed a
earlier
bit
today.
down the bottom of that message. It said, Hook said, "Oh yeah, good on you, mate."
Good on you, mate. I'll just point out that Zach Lomax is leading every one of the stats in the competition.
Wow.
He's our highest point scorer, second highest try scorer behind Sloan. He's kicked the most goals, most line breaks, most post-contact meters, most tackle breaks, most offloads, all runs, 136 runs he's had throughout the year in the 6th round. Run meters, 1,127. So he's running 1,127 plus 431 post-contact meters. So that's phenomenal. We're going to lose him to Parramatta. And
wow, what a time to let him go, eh?
I know.
And he's coming 6th in the Dally M as well.
Yeah.
Jeez.
But he doesn't want to be there, so you can't make a player play in a place where he doesn't want to be.
But I just hope he, as you said, I just hope he puts in for the rest of the year and helps us get some more victories on the ball before he finishes his time with us.
Yeah,
but it's going to be interesting to see what reception he cops at Wynn Stadium on Friday. Well, I'll stay on you, Big T. So our last game at Wynn Stadium, the hill was packed out in the game against Manly. Now we've got the old Friday 6 p.m. time slot this weekend. Are you expecting a similar crowd, or do you think the time could affect everything? Like with people finishing work at 5, people from Sydney, they're not going to rush down to Wollongong. Do you expect a similar crowd for this game against the Warriors with the time slot?
I think we got 16,000 last time down there, didn't we? Which was a really, really good crowd. I'm hoping for something about the same. 6 o'clock. If a lot of the Wollongong people finish work, 5 o'clock, 4 o'clock, 3 o'clock, they'll get to the game. 14,000, I'm predicting, and it's against an out-of-town Warriors side. But they do have a good following in Sydney and Wollongong, so hopefully they can get there too.
Yep. So a new name on our bench. Well, this question was meant for Asman, but I'll throw it to you, Rob. For Manu Brown, a new signing signed today. Many people saying that he could be a late inclusion on the bench, but what do you make of this signing? And could he be a late inclusion on the bench? He's played at many different clubs throughout his career. Sort of a journeyman player, but sort of a utility player that we've lacked this year. What do you think his chances are of sneaking onto the bench?
Well, I'd say it's probably maybe a possibility, mate. As long as he's match fit. I guess he's been playing the Super League, so hopefully he's got a good amount of fitness. I imagine he wouldn't have been in the squad at all if he wasn't capable or fit enough. I'm just not really still sure about the signing, to be honest with you. Whether it's just purely and simply that we had that spot, to fill, and we filled it, and it's a backup, more backup hooker with Little. I'm not quite sure where else he can play besides hooker. So yeah,
To play lock at a pinch.
yeah. So I think mainly it's yeah, I don't know. It's just the old adage. I mean, obviously a few of the teams do it, but they have a hooker on the bench. Yeah, so I wouldn't do it, especially not against the Warriors. I'd be looking at the forwards on the bench more than just a backup hooker. For me, but could be a possibility, Jesse. I suppose you can't say no. That's for sure. And Marsh Curate was really not can back up at hooker, but is meant to be a half. So interested to see what happens. Flano's been named to make these changes, hasn't he? With the team, with the bench, with the squad, with the complete 22 man. So it'll be interesting to see what happens, mate. But yeah, I'm still a bit of a loss with the signing, to be honest with you. But yeah,
Fair enough. We'll move on to a couple of viewer questions for the time being. So this was just come through from Nenad Nedovic. So I'll throw it to you, Hasman. So he fought Laurie and Ravalawa, not Radradra. I wish
Ravalawa.
both Fijian, Ravalawa, have been dropped to New South Wales Cup. They're both still in the team. What are your thoughts, Hasman?
I'm not sure where he's had that, but I mean, possibly Laurie should be dropped to New South Wales Cup for a couple of weeks just to maybe get his fitness up and maybe he plays a bit better against those smaller guys, but because he does tend to get monstered by the Warriors forwards whenever we play him. So wouldn't have minded seeing a Viliami Fafita in there, for instance. I think that's probably why Murdoch Masilla's in there as well, just to give us a bit of size. But yeah, no, Ravalawa was not getting dropped. He'd have to have an absolute bloody shocker about 6 weeks in a row for Flano to even consider it.
Yeah, I mean, even Laurie said himself his form is below par, and it's been shit house, to be honest. Actually, he said, and yeah, he wouldn't be surprised if Flano bites the bullet and does acting from the side. I mean, here's what he had to say. Honestly, it's been shit house. I was playing so terribly, I wouldn't have blamed Flano at all for dropping me. I just have to go out there and ensure Flano trusts me to do a job, and it's going to be week by week until I can regain that trust. I mean, do you all back Blocker's comments there?
Well, we said earlier on in the previous VODs that we don't think he's fully fit. Rib injuries do take a while to heal, and if you're either like re-injuring that during your time on the field, I'm not sure whether he's fully fit to play at all myself. So I've had rib injuries and then re-injured it. So it's like 10 weeks to get over it.
especially if he's getting needled up as well too. If you're getting needled up, it's not good. It's only going to make it worse.
Yeah, the ribs are just that natural heal tool. There's not a lot you can do for them, and it just have to naturally heal on its own, and can take weeks and up to months potentially. Depends on how bad it is.
He's not running it up like he did last season as well too. I mean, I know the guy's a reasonably big guy, but he was running it up with a little bit more ascendancy last season than what he's doing this season. So I agree with Big T. I think there's an underlying problem there, and I guess Flano's trying to do the right thing. He was the best player last season in the sense of the award he won and etc. Players player, I think it was. So yeah, I mean, he's giving him optimal chances, but I mean, against the Warriors pack, like what Hasman said this weekend, if he plays the way he has in the last X amount of weeks, he's going to absolutely maul him. It's just they'll maul him or take him apart, rip his head off. So I don't know whether that's really a good decision by Flano, to be playing him this weekend. To be honest with you.
And do you think, this one's for you, Big T. So the Dragons were good in defence in their win over the Tigers on Sunday. Do you think that sort of defence can hold out the Warriors, or they're going to need to score some points as well? And is Ben Hunt
for sure.
Is Ben Hunt's kicking game required to be a lot better in this one?
Oh, Ben Hunt's kicking game's got to find grass. He can't let the ball go to Montoya and Dallington is Lesniak at the back there. They're quick boys. Give them any space. They're going to beat us on the outside. So, Ben Hunt has to be on song. Everybody has to be on song. Like, I've sort of come to the conclusion that any team can beat any team on their day. So whichever team turns up to play, we're going to decide the winner out of that. So, Ben Hunt's kicking game is going to be very important, and hopefully he lets Kyle have a couple.
Yeah, obviously against Sean Johnson, who was he was probably one of the Warriors' best last week, and obviously they scored 8 points in a minute to turn the game to golden point, and they're sort of a side where you've got to play for the full 80 minutes, and if we don't, it could be a cricket score if we're not.
I think you got to analyse.
They can be away from home as well. They can bring a less powerful game to an away game. So hopefully they can play a bit easier on us, and we'll go all right. Don't worry, we'll go all right.
I think it concerns me is what Big T said. Is I agree 100% with Hunt. It's too predictable. It's too one-sided. Going to Hunt and the bomb for Lomax. Now we're playing a different team this weekend. A fullback, wingers who are very good under the high ball,
and RTS as well.
It wasn't good. It wasn't for Zach Lomax in X amount of games. We would have scored some of these tries from the bomb from Hunt. And it's not going to work all the time against every team. Obviously Lomax was getting above Bullock, this last match a number of times. But it's not going to work all the time, you know what I mean? So that's where he's got to mix it up a bit. And that's what concerns me. And I think someone said Donny said he's got to find the grass a bit more. He was trying the odd 40-20 here and there as well too, but it just seems to have gone back to the bomb. Seems to be our only sort of way of scoring again, which concerns me, to be honest, especially come up against a team like the Warriors as well too. And if it rains as well, he's going to have a good short kicking game going as well too. So I guess time will tell.
And the wind will play a part too if it does get windy, because being right on the beach, it does get quite windy there. As you know, Big T, you've been to quite a few games at Wind Stadium.
I was there one day, and the wind was coming directly from the east, and I was in the grandstand, and we just got saturated. We were in the Western grandstand there, and we were terrible.
Was the day you lost your hair, Big T?
Yeah. My hair used to be blue. Now blew off. Just like Hazmat. And yours.
Oh, I can't talk now.
Hazman will be looking forward to seeing
mine's by choice.
Hazman will be looking forward to seeing one particular player for the Warriors return to Wollongong, and that's Jackson Ford. He's been spoken about as a bolter for the Origin side. Would have been a mouth-watering matchup up against Luciano a little bit. Still, he's up against Jaden Sewer, who was in great form last week. So I'm sure you're looking forward to that matchup, Hazman. Ford against Jaden Sewer.
Oh, hell yeah. Obviously, I hope Sewer bloody wipes him like a dirty ass, but no, it's going to be a good clash in the forwards, that one particularly. I think Fatala Mariner's probably got Capewell pretty much covered. But yeah, I think Sewer's going to he will run at Jackson Ford all day, so he's going to have to be on his game. He's going to have to play better for the Warriors on Friday than he ever did for us.
Yeah, and then you look at their middle forwards too. Like we've got Molo and Selly up against Adam Fanua-Blake and Mitch Barnett. So Frankie Molo's got a big task up against Adam Fanua-Blake there.
No, Selly will be up against Blake.
Yeah, they're in the middle, so.
Well, that's
against each other.
I mean, they're pretty much close to each other anyway.
The bigger size,
yeah. Molo's on Barnett. Selly's got AFB.
If we let AFP run, we're stuffed. If we let him run, we're gone. If he starts running 10, 15 metres and offloading the ball, we're gone. We're history. Because that's the big roll on that they get.
And then
Well,
Wade
that's something
Egan's
we're going to have to
been
do as well.
great
We're going to have to
for
get a
Warriors
lot of
too.
offloads off.
You have to watch Wade Egan from dummy half. There's
Yeah,
smoke. They're even talking about him as a potential bolter for the New South Wales team too. So one of the form hookers in the competition. Obviously, Rory
Didn't you get
McDonald.
Tyrell Sloan as a bolter for Origin as well, Jesse? They seem to be looking at bloody everyone as a bolter.
I think Michael Maguire's looking at all new avenues to get the Shield back. Maybe he wants a fresh start and bring some new blood into the team.
Well, the big
I've
thing
heard
today
it-
I saw was with the opposition, with Queensland. Billy Slater came out and said in an interview that don't be surprised that I'll have a serious look at Ponga. Ponga playing at 14 and being in the squad, which means Hunt won't make it, which means Hunt gets to play more for the Dragons. So could be a big possibility. I mean, how could you leave Ponga out when you think about it? I know that they've won the last 2 years in a row, and
Ponga didn't play last year.
The Hunt and the Grants, sharing works out. But obviously, Harry Grant can play the 80 minutes, and Ponga can play. Probably could play Hooker, but he can play bloody fullback, centre, 5'8". So yeah, Hunt mightn't get picked, and he's not really been our best player every week like he has in the past in the Dragon. So
he's been up there.
No, they'll pick him just to fuck us up.
Yeah.
Who knows what Billy Slater's up to?
They'll pick him as 18th man.
No, that'd be worse. Yeah, I'm hoping
he did, and
I'm hoping he doesn't get picked so he can bloody play all the games for us, because we're up to shit creek when he's out. He's gone. So
we've got Fa'amanu now. We've got Brown now. We've got Brown. He can play halfback.
You probably put Kyle a halfback.
Why not?
Anyway, so we'll go into our next segment now. Well, we haven't got her on this evening, but throw it to one of our other panelists tonight.
They're slugging it out in the middle of the field. The Dragon's front row has knocked his block off.
His block is knocked off?
It's time to look at the one-on-one battles that will decide the game. Will it be the key position players? Will the fight be won out wide? Or will it be one up front? Strap yourself in for Coco's Clashes!
Who your key matchups are for this game?
The Battle of the Front Rows is my big one.
Sorry?
The Battle of the Front Rows is my big one. Fanua Blake, Frankie Molo, Hamo Saleh, and Mitch Barnett. I think if you should rate those four, I'd have Adam Fanua Blake, then our two, and then Mitch Barnett fourth. But he's a great player. They're talking about him for Origin as well. So, that's where I want to. Right in the middle. Middle's going to win the game. Whoever wins that forward battle in the middle is going to win the game.
I think Johnson and Hunt and the kicking game is going to be important, especially if the wind's up as well. So who can kick better? Who can find space? Make teams turn around and all that. And obviously then the bombing as well too. And Johnson can put up a mean bomb. So and I think he might be aiming for our fullback more than our wingers. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens with that. Because Hunt's not been setting the world on fire with his kicking. So he's going to have to markedly improve this weekend, that's for sure.
Well, here's a prediction for the weather for Wollongong on Friday evening. So it's partly cloudy, high chance of showers, so most likely in the afternoon and evening. So light winds becoming suddenly 25 to 35 kilometres an hour. So not too much wind predicted, but
rain.
If there's light rain, it could make the ground a little bit soggy and could slow the track down a bit. And Wollongong is normally like a fast track, so
Well, there's rain Wednesday, Thursday too, maybe as well. So on the lead up.
yeah, not too much predicted tomorrow and Thursday. Only a top of 3 mils, so not too bad down there. In the gong for Friday night footy. So Hasman, in your opinion, who do you think are the key matchups in this one?
I think the forwards are definitely going to be have a massive influence on the result. I'm looking forward to, like I said earlier, Sele and AFB and Molo versus Barnett. Molo's going to have to be on his toes, but don't forget about Jacob Little versus Wade Egan. That's two very, very quick, crafty dummy halves. So, it'll be interesting to see which one of those guys comes out on top. My only concern really is the bench. We're lacking a little bit of size. Murdoch Masila is probably our biggest one there.
You've got Jesse Marsky.
Oh yeah, Jesse Marsky's bloody huge. And then you got Jack DeBellin, the world's biggest halfback,
and Blake Laurie.
And you got him too. Bit of an afterthought, but look, the forwards are basically going to have a massive influence on the result of this game, and our boys are really going to have to be on their toes. If the Warriors get on top of us early, we could be in serious trouble. If we can go with them for the first 20, 30 minutes, we'll be in a good place to come over the top of them, I reckon.
I think we've got to start well. Like we saw when Manly played them, they shot out to 16-0. So if they can apply the pressure early and pile on the tries, that'll put the Warriors under a lot of pressure.
What we're going to do is play the way that we started against the Cowboys and bloody keep going.
Yes. If it was only for Raymond Patala-Merida to hang on to the ball, we'd probably win that game.
We should have bloody won it anyway. The minute that happened, their heads went down and everything just went to shit from there. Not too much resilience in that particular game, but we should have won that game. But that's, well, as Big T says, the rest is history.
Yeah, I mean we show against the Tigers. I know the Tigers. There's a far gap between the Tigers and the Warriors, but are we a team that can defend the Warriors out like that, or you think the Warriors will offer it way more than the Tigers?
I'm glad there's no Jace Tavanga and Bunty Afoa myself. They come off the bench and they complement Adam Blake, who plays 70 minutes a game nearly anyway. So
plus you had Tohu Harris in the middle.
That's right, yeah. With Bunty Afoa and who was the other player I was talking about?
Tavanga.
Tavanga, Jace Tavanga. He's a great player. They don't even miss Aaron, who went to the Bulldogs. So they've just got a strong forward back. Without them, they're a little bit weaker. So hopefully we can take advantage of that.
I'm concerned about our defence, especially on our line. There's been tries against us that's been so easy. Even the Tigers on the weekend.
The Stefano try, yeah.
It was like.
I think it's concentration. They lose concentration, and I'm going to go in and tackle. Oh, I missed him.
There's been several games where there's been tries that have been in the 10 metres.
Our goal line defence, yeah.
Especially against the Warriors, they'll just run over us. They won't be able to stop them. And then I'm worried out wide as well. They're fast. So CT coming in, I don't know if he comes in early.
DWZ.
Yeah. Jess, whack that comment up by Jazz. He's got it spot on.
Jazz Tamatea.
Yeah, it's our best chance, I think.
Yeah, well, I don't know a whole lot about Tom Ale. He's a front rower. I mean, the Jazz sounds like he's a Warriors supporter. Do you know much about Tom Ale? What does he provide to the Warriors bench?
No, but Dylan Walker supplies spark off the bench. He comes on and he just sparks. Niakura is just solid. So, and Bunty and Jazz, they're just long bay jail forwards. They're big, ugly. Probably got tattoos on their face. No, I'm just joking. But yeah, no, like he says, he's your best chance. So hopefully we have a good chance.
But I mean, all in all,
So he says Tom Arlay's a gun, but he's still a bit green. So he's not quite there yet, but he's good young front rower for them.
But you hit the nail on the head with the Tigers. I mean, and I know Big T said before, anybody can win on their day, and anybody, especially if someone's up for it or whatever. But truly, this weekend we're playing A grade and we were playing B grade last week. If you see where I'm coming from, so
yeah, great.
Yeah, it makes a big difference.
If they send Adam Fanor-Blake charging for us, it's going to be like Utah Commanders try against us on the weekend.
Yeah.
So yeah, we've got to be wary of that because the Warriors will be watching the video and watching where our downfall was, and they'll see it as a weak link too. And then when Sullivan put Kapoa over late in the game, I know it was only consolation, but that was still a very ordinary try to leak. They'll be looking at that and looking where they can expose us. And as we said last year, DWZ scored 4 tries on our left wing. I know Matt Fine is not there this time round, but if they find room and Tuipulotu's not there, it could be another bloodbath from DWZ and the Warriors. And then plus they got Roger Tuivasa-Sheck on the other centre. He'll be up against Moses Suli.
And that's the other thing you just mentioned there too with CT. What worries me with him, and even Rav to a lesser extent, is their pace turning around. I mean, you got Sean Johnson. He can make those short kicks crossfield over the top. And you got these guys who fly. You know what I mean? So yeah, there's all sorts of means of them scoring tries with their pace. So yeah, we have to be strong right across the park.
RTS blows Suli away for speed, and he's got a step on him.
Yeah.
If Suli's not on, there'll be plenty of tries there too.
Yeah, RTS is unbelievable. His step, it's almost Brad Fittler like his step. It's hard to read, isn't he? So, if you're moving too slowly, he'll get around you.
Yeah. Well, I saw a comment earlier in the comments before, but it was more targeting about Suli and Ravalawa. So they haven't had a lot of ball this year. It's more going to the side of Lomax and Bird, but with Bird not there, it's most likely to be the old combination of Lomax and Ravalawa. Why do you think that's the case? I'll throw it to everyone. Why do you think that's the case that Suli and Ravalawa aren't getting a lot of ball this year?
Because most of the attack's been sort of down that side where Lomax has been on the wing, because that's basically our main play. So having Lomax and Bird on that side, they've formed a really good combination. We've had success with it, so you do what's working. So consequently, Hunt's basically concentrating 98% of the attack there. That's basically why Ravalawa hasn't scored a try.
Yeah, 100%.
Because they're not looking at the left side as a viable option for points.
And then the times we have gone there, they've bombed tries. Like Suli won't pass to Ravalawa, or Ravalawa's always in the wrong position as well.
I don't think Suli knows how to pass.
And then it's a bomb. The bombs must be, if someone has the stat, the amount of bombs for Lomax on that side must be so much.
Well, Lomax is arguably the best kick chaser in the competition.
Sure.
So that's why Hunt plays him. Hunt does it.
He the ball above his head.
When they come off, he comes off 90% of the time, and that try he laid on for Flanagan against the Tigers last Sunday was beautiful.
Yeah, I mean it makes common sense what has been said, that if it's working well, you obviously go down that side. But I mean, there's predictability then as well too, isn't there? Because you're coming up against probably some pretty good
Tied,
wingers under the high ball as well. So, that's where what we've talked about for the past month now with Hunt, sharing the responsibility with Flano Junior, that give him a little bit of a bit of a kicking game as well too, and some plays as well, because maybe that's the other thing. Warriors is to be running at Hunt all the time now as well, and not giving him time. And I've noticed Hunt now the last couple of games, he's kicked the ball out in the full. They've been targeting him. He's just been under pressure. So
now you can't have those blockers there. So if you've got quick players out of defence, they're going to get to the kicker every time. You've seen there's been more charge around the last few
years. Well, that's because of the Penrith model they've been doing the last few years. Like when Cleary gets his kick, they have a defender like an Isaiah Yeo in front of him, so you can't attack the kicker, and you can get penalised for that now. That's one of the new rules they brought into the competition this year.
That's right.
So we'll just break it up a little bit now. We'll move into some lower grades. So New South Wales Cup will be playing the Warriors on Saturday afternoon down at Collies at Fig Tree. I'll run through the side for the Dragons. That'll be preceded by the Jersey Flag at 11:15 on Saturday as well, up against the Warriors. So this is the way the New South Wales Cup team will line up. At fullback and captain is Matt Feeney. The wingers are Stione Finau and Savelio Tamale. The centres, Max Feeney and Ben Johnson. In the halves, Josh Ralph and Jonah Glover. In the back row, Viliami Fafita, Dylan Egan and Ryan Couchman. Up front, Alec Tuatavake, Connor Mollison and Kobe Couchman. On the bench, it's Hayali Finau, Dan Russell, Josh Corrick and Jackson Sherab. Jersey Flag, they are also playing the Warriors at, as I said, 11:15 on Saturday down at Collies Complex at Figgy. So let's go through the Jersey Flag side. So at fullback, we've got Ben Rumble. On the wings, Kane Barnes and Kai Russell, with Will Starling and Ben Lavender in the centres. Nick Quinn and Ashton Ward are the halves. At lock, we've got Matthew Alizum, second rows, Hamish Stewart and Campbell Watchers. Up front, we've got Jacob Webster, Kyan Haljartson, who is the skipper, and Jet Liu. On the bench, we got Travis Barrett Hancock, Callum Lightbowl, Nick Sugarnis, and Riley Pascoe. Now, junior reps, so they're down to the preliminary finals in that competition on Saturday. So that'll be all at Leichhardt Oval. The Illawarra Steelers will be playing the West Tigers in the Lisa Fayola Cup preliminary final. So I'll just run through the Steelers lineup for that one. So just running through the Steelers lineup. At fullback, we've got Kiara Kostovsky. On the wings, Madeline Bullock and Haley Muick. Hallie Barrett, and so that's the daughter of Trent Barrett, and Holly Jornabodge in the centres. Sky Spencer and Ella Greets in the halves. Michaela Hardy, Talia O'Brien, and Jada Lalick make up the back row, with Kalia Alvey, Tori Shipton, and Tahani Kafusi up front. Bridget Shearer, Eliza Taylor, Bella Lord, and Armani Taniora on the bench. And then Tasha Gale Cup, so they'll be playing the Sharks in the local derby. Again, that's a spot in the grand final. That'll be at 2:00 on Saturday. And I'll just run through the that lineup. So we got Herawaka Pahadu at fullback, Darcy Eade and Maria Paseka on the wings, Indy Bostock and Mia Rose Walsh in the centres, Evie McGrath and Casey Ray in the halves. In the back row, we've got Sienna Yeo, that's the cousin of Isaiah Yeo. Charlotte Basham, who played one NRLW game last year, and Michaela McFadden make up the back row, with Hope Millard, Chelsea Saville, and Dragons NRLW Rookie Player of the Year last year, Ella Costa. On the bench, it's Bianca Jones, Rianne Yeo, another cousin of Isaiah, Brielle Lesudi, and Bronte Wilson. Bronte Wilson, the development player in the NRLW squad last year.
Nice.
So I'll throw to you, Big T. So big games coming up for our junior side this week. But also the Dragons up against the Newcastle Knights in the SG Ball preliminary final. what are your hopes, and would you like to see our 3 junior sides qualify for the grand final?
Oh, for sure. I seen a comment earlier this week that all 3 are going to win. They should win. I think they were saying in the comments. So hopefully we'll see all 3 make it through and go on to bigger and better things in the future. You know, like Penrith had that same sort of success a number of years ago, 2018-ish, 2019 maybe. They won nearly every comp from the 15s up. So hopefully we can do the same thing.
Yep, no, definitely. So we'll move on to some news and views now. So today, well, we've already discussed it anyway, but Zach Lomax signed a 4-year deal with the Eels from next year. Just grab your thoughts on that. We'll have both your thoughts on it. And you think it's a good thing now that his future is settled and he can move on to playing football for the rest of the year with the Dragons?
Go ahead, take it away, son.
Yeah, look, I'm disappointed he's going, but I mean, now that he's made his decision, you know, for better or worse. So yeah, now we can sort of put his head down and get on with the business of doing what he can for the Dragons for the remainder of the year. Well, if you're going to pick another club, why the hell would you pick Parramatta if you had another option? I really don't know. I mean, that said, I've got nothing against him. I hope he does well. I just prefer that he do it in the Red V, but you know, such is life.
Yeah. The thing that scares me though, he leads all those stats by some of them are a long way from the next player. So he's leading most of the run meter, or our run meters and our offloads and tackle breaks and line breaks, and he's doing everything. Hopefully he can do the same in the centres. And he can show Flano that, hey, fuck, look at me, I'm a centre, dickhead. So yeah,
And
hopefully he does well.
If selected for Origin, do you think he could handle the Origin arena?
Oh, for sure. I think yeah, he'll handle it. Yeah, he'll handle it well.
You the same, Hasman? You think he'd handle the big stage of Origin?
Oh, definitely. Whether he gets picked is another thing entirely, but yeah, if he gets picked, he'll be fine.
Yep. So on Channel 9's 100% Footy last night, there's been revealed what the Dragons have offered Sunia Taruva. The Newcastle Knights are one of the clubs after him as well, but I can't see him being a fullback there with a man named Kalen Ponga at the back. But Sunia Taruva has been offered a 3-year deal by the Dragons, $450K a year on the wing. Now, if he gets game time at fullback, say if he plays some games at fullback, that'll go up to $600K. What do you think, Hasman? Would Taruva be a good signing? Is he worth that kind of cash? And do you see him leaving the Panthers?
I haven't seen much of him play, to be honest. But I mean, if he's come through the Penrith system, he can't be too bloody bad. Although, how good can he be if they're letting him go? You know, salary cap notwithstanding. But I did see that the Dragons have made a verbal promise to him that they'll give him the chance to go for the fullback. Now, what the hell happens to Sloan if, you know, Flano decides, you know, Taruva, you're in? I mean, does Sloan go to the wing, or does he just drop back and play New South Wales Cup for a few weeks and then, you know, another club that he picks him up? What happens there?
Could be just lip service, mate. You tell the people you're trying to sign what they want to hear.
No, the club actually told him that.
I know they did.
Yeah,
but you sugarcoat it as much as you can. We're going to give you the opportunity to play fullback. He might not be our first choice fullback, so he plays on the wing. But we gave you the opportunity to play.
Like if Sloan doesn't work
So-
out, he might go to fullback. But again, Sloan's off contract at the end of the year, so there's no
Yeah,
guarantee that he'll get a contract.
$450 is a lot better than $800,000 for a winger. So
And 600 if he goes to fullback. Do you expect him to?
yeah, well, how many
spend
games?
time at fullback?
How many games has he got to play to activate that money? It can't be one game.
No, well, he might say, "Oh, Sloan's form's not good enough. I might drop you. I'm going to drop you," and Taruva gets his chance at the back.
It might be 10 games he has to play at fullback to activate that money.
Well, that again has not come into play, but
Who knows?
I was listening to the radio this afternoon, and it was Brian Fletcher said he's never heard of a contract like that before. So interesting to see. I think it's just to be a watch this space, and the Panthers haven't given up hope of keeping him either. So
I think
I wouldn't be surprised if he stays at the Panthers, but we'll see. The Panthers do have a lot of young juniors coming through, so I don't. They rate him highly out there, but.
So what are they offering him? What are they offering him out there? About $350 or something?
$350, I've heard. Yeah. So the Panthers don't have a lot of room in their cap to offer.
But he's also said that he'd stay at Penrith for less. So.
But he's a Penrith boy, yeah.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. So. And why wouldn't you want to stay at Penrith for less when you're winning grand finals?
That's right.
So.
And there'll be a lot more pressure if he comes to the Dragons. There'll be a lot more pressure.
Oh, for sure. For sure. Anybody that comes to the Dragons are going to be under pressure. Because us fans are assholes. We are. Come on.
We're passionate.
Oh, no, passionate. Yeah.
Only the Bulldogs fans, mate.
And
Bulldogs fans?
News that come in early this evening.
Only the Bulldogs fans are assholes.
Regarding our NRLW. So, a leaked squad has been released by New South Wales. The extended squad. It's not the squad that actually will take part in the Origin series, but an extended squad where they'll probably pick the players from that squad eventually to take part in the 3-game series starting this time next month. I'll read the squad anyway, but there are 2 Dragons in it, and I'll congratulate the 2 Dragons selected, Tegan Berry and Shanae Lendl. That's shock one. Well done to both.
Lendl. She's a good player,
And she played a couple of positions last year during the campaign, played centre, back row, and wing, so covered a few positions. Anyway, I'll run through the squad that was named. So it was Emma Tonagato from Cronulla, Tegan Berry, Jamie Chapman from the Titans, Jakai Whitfold from the Cowboys, Jess Surgis from the Roosters, Isabel Kelly from the Roosters, Tiana Penatani, Bo Vetti Welsh, Jamie Frezard, Corbin Baxter, Talia Fuimoano, Kira Dibb, Jesse Southwell, Hasman's favourite, Rachel Pearson, Shanae Lendl, Keely Davis, Quincy Dodd, Caitlin Johnston, Ellie Johnston, Millie Boyle, Sarah Togatuki, Samai Mataufa, Hannah Southwell, Yasmin Clydesdale, Olivia Kernick, Kezi Epps, Mona Lisa Soliola, Cassie Tohi Hiku, Grace Kemp, Tale Holmes, Vanessa Foliaki, Shaylee Brent, Kennedy Sherrington, Olivia Higgins, and Sheridan Gallagher.
Oh, man. About 70% of those players have played for the Dragons. You go through that list.
Yep, all played for the Dragons, yes. So what do we think of Shanae Lendl? And obviously Tegan Berry was going to be a shoo-in to get picked.
Yeah, but she'll play on the wing, I think, though. She won't play at fullback. You've got Upton and Tonagato plays 5'8" now.
Upton's a Queenslander.
Oh, I apologise. Who's the New South Wales fullback then?
Well, last year it was Tonagato, but she played 5'8" at the Sharks, so she could stay at 5'8".
She might be in for the chance then. She might be in for the chance.
Will she finally get a rep debut? I mean, Hasman, would you like to see Tegan Berry at the back for the Blues?
Thinking is Hasman there? Ground control to Major Tom.
You there, Hasman?
Good on you, son.
Sorry, I bloody missed up for that, mate.
Oh, Would you like to see the flash at the back for New South Wales?
Yes, but only if the Dragons aren't playing that weekend.
No, the NRLW doesn't start till after Origin, so that's
In that
that's
case, yes. In that case, bloody oath.
Now we've got a Rob Saguna saying, "Has men making Jackson Ford forts?"
That's why he went away. He was looking into the clouds.
He was looking at Jackson Ford, looking in the Warriors.
Go to bed, Saguna, you clown.
All right, so
I'll tell you what I was going to say. Someone asked, I think it was Hosea, asked who's got the most wins between the Dragons and the Warriors, and I was trying to do a bit of research and bloody find that.
I'll tell you that right now.
What's the head-to-head?
36 games they've played.
24 wins for the Dragons, 12 for the Warriors.
The Warriors have won the last 3 games.
And how many times have we beaten them down in Wollongong?
We haven't beaten the Warriors in Wollongong since 2013.
Fuck.
But how many games have we played? 3?
2. Last year and 2018.
There you go.
The others have been at Cogra.
The time before that was 2013, was it?
Yes. Well, we'll move into some NRL tips before we move into our predictions. So on Thursday night, we kick off the round. This clash always delivers, the Roosters and the Melbourne Storm. So the Roosters are $1.92, the Storm are $1.91, so it's pretty evenly matched. Roosters welcome back James Tedesco and also have Egan Butcher while Satili Tupouniua is out. I think it was for a concussion. The Storm are unchanged. Who do you like, Hasman?
I like the Storm. The Roosters didn't particularly impress me that much. They've been pretty scratchy so far. So I think Melbourne will just be too disciplined, too strong, and too well drilled.
You more of the same, Big T, or you think the Roosters?
I think the Roosters can change. You've got to watch out. You've got Sammy Walker on the extended bench there. It looked like he'll come in. Kiwi will go to 5'8", and Docker Clay will drop out of the side, and Connor Watson will go to number 14. So, yeah, I think Tedesco and Walker back in the side makes them even stronger. I'm going to go for the Roosters in a tight one.
Yeah, the Storm actually don't have the best record at Allianz Stadium. It's probably one of their worst grounds they've have a record at. But they're always good games between these two clubs. I'm going to go the Storm in a tight one. They've had some heart stoppers this year. I think they'll have another heart stopper in this one. Friday night, up to Darwin, the Eels and the Dolphins. The Eels are unchanged. The Dolphins, they welcome Trey Fuller in at the back. Sean O'Sullivan's on the bench, and Max Platt returns from suspension at lock, while Hammer is out, and Anthony will be out suspended as well. So the Eels are 139, the Dolphins are 299. What do you reckon, Big T? Eels or the Dolphins?
Sivo, Makatoa, and Wirra Greg on the extended bench. I expect at least 2 of them to come in. Another guy on the bench, Kelma Tuolagi, 25, 192 centimetres, 110 kilos. This kid can play. He's played 50 games already, but he's a good player. Excuse me. Dolphins, welcome back Plath. Sullivan's back in the side, but they lost Milford, like you're saying, Tabuai Fido. I think Parramatta at home. Parramatta at Darwin. I think Parramatta at Darwin. So watch out for Sivo and Makatoa to come back.
Long way from home, Big Tech.
No, a long way from home. But They played
take a game
there
there
for
every
a
year.
number of seasons, so it's like a home away from home. Now I'm going Eels.
You echo that, Hasman, or you think the Dolphins can get the chocolates up there?
No, I don't think they can. They were pretty bloody ordinary against Brisbane last week, and Parramatta overcame a very, very good Cowboys team. So I can't see the Dolphins getting within 20, to be honest.
Yeah, the Eels unchanged. They looked better against the Cows, but Cows could have easily won that contest. Dolphins. This is where they went bad last year. That they started the season well. Then once injuries and suspension hit them, they lost their way. I'm going to go Parramatta, but I wouldn't be surprised if the Dolphins come away, because this is the sort of thing Bennett likes. Bennett likes it when their backs to the wall and they can come out and surprise you. So I wouldn't be surprised if the Dolphins win, but I'm going to go Parramatta. On the Panthers, they take on the Tigers, so they're coming off the bye. Scott Sorensen is back for the Panthers, pushing Matt Eisenhuth out of the 17. Still no Nathan Cleary. His return is another week off. The Tigers, they welcome back Lachlan Galvin. Brett Naden will play his first game of the year, while John Bateman, Latu, and Samuela Fainu return, while Bud Sullivan and Solomona Fatape have been dropped. So Panthers $1.19, the Tigers $4.90. This game will be played up at Bathurst. Hasman, the battle of the cats, the big cats.
Meow.
The Tigers actually won the corresponding game last year. Can the
What was
Tigers
that?
do it again, or will the Panthers do it at their home away from home?
No, the Tigers will not repeat history. They will get beaten by 1,000.
1,000.
Panthers are going to absolutely hammer them. I've got no doubt of that.
Even without
The Tigers
Nathan
couldn't
Cleary.
even beat the Tigers couldn't beat the fucking Dragons. How are they going to beat the Panthers?
They won't beat them. They're going
That
to see
looks like a unanimous
Exactly
one. I think
they're going to see a lot of Black Panthers out there at Bathurst this weekend, I think.
so, yeah, I think
Sullivan
the Panthers-
Sullivan gone, Fatape gone.
Galvin back.
Tigers are gone.
All right, 5:30 Saturday up on the Goldie. We got Titans up against your uncle's team, Hasman. The Titans up against Manly. So Desi up against his old club.
Uncle Desi.
So I'm sure Desi will be looking forward to this one against the club that sacked him. Philip Sammy
He'll be
returns.
absolutely spewing after what happened last week. So he'll bloody have them fired up. I don't think that'll do much good. I think Manly will continue to pile the misery on the poor old Titans. We'll have to check on Blaze and make sure he's all right. When you
So
talk about
Philip Sammy's been named at the back.
So much.
Philip Sammy's been named at the back for Jade Campbell out injured, and for Manly some big ins too. Jason Saab, Ruben Goat return,
Yeah.
and Matt Lodge.
Aaron Woods keeps his spot. But
So you lose Jackson Paulo and Ben Trebojevic.
Yeah, but
335 the Titans, 133 for the Manly.
Yeah, Manly by 20.
Yeah, Manly by lots.
Yep, another unanimous one. I think Manly will add more pressure on Des Hasler and the Titans. But they were much better in their game against the Raiders the other night. This could be very well the game of the weekend at Suncorp on Saturday night. It's the Broncos up against the Raiders. The Broncos are $1.41 and the Raiders are $2.93. Both sides unchanged. What do you think, Hasman?
Broncos at home, too strong. Canberra weren't particularly convincing, against the Titans. They almost let it slip, and some would argue they should have lost that game on a penalty in Golden Point.
Correct.
And they'd be
that's
right.
That's why Casey's been dropped. Oh, sorry, rotated.
Tasman's favourite ref.
Yeah.
Dude, a lot of refs that I dislike a lot more than Casey Badger. I can tell you that much.
I think.
You reckon Brisbane too?
Yeah,
Big T?
I think Brisbane. I think you can expect Sutherland to be dropped out the side and Big Marty Tapau, or Tapau as they call him now.
He wasn't used the other night, was he, Sailor?
No. So I think he'll drop out and Tapau will come in. But I think the Broncos are going to be too strong.
Yep. Yeah, I think Broncos, they're a far good side. They've got players coming back soon. Yeah, and they looked really good against the Dolphins. I know the Dolphins weren't great themselves, but the Broncos are a very good team, and they made, as we said, they made the grand final last year, and that was no fluke. Came within minutes of winning the premiership. So I think the Broncos will get the chocolates at home, but the Raiders, I don't think they'll get it all their own way. I think the Raiders will give it to them. I think it'll be a close game, I think. Sunday afternoon, up at a core stadium, we got the Bulldogs and the Knights. So Connor Tracy's been named at fullback. Blake Taft back for the Dogs on the bench, while the Knights are unchanged from following their loss to the Roosters. And Kalen Ponga still named after suffering that hip injury. You surprised with that, Big T? And what do you think will happen in this one? Bulldogs looking good.
They are looking good. They are starting to form combinations, but I still think they're a bunch of posers. Knights are hot and cold. Like they beat us and they get beat by the Roosters the next week, and they've been up and down all season. Bulldogs. Drew Hutchison keeping Toby Sexton out of the half spot. That's a big thing for. I think Sexton's a better halfback than Hutchison. Toss of the coin again, but I think Bulldogs at home. Unfortunately, I don't like tipping the Bulldogs, but Bulldogs at home.
You like the Dogs too, Hasman? I mean, we got Steve Alley watching. I think you'll enjoy us going for the Doggies. You think the Doggies or the Knights jag another win?
You two like the Doggies. I completely can't fucking stand them.
I hate them. I hate them with a passion.
It doesn't matter who they're playing. I just can't tip them. No, I think Newcastle will bounce back and they'll win. I reckon they'll win by 12 to 14.
Okay, fair enough.
Steve, get that up.
Yeah, I'm gonna go. I think I'm gonna go with the Bulldogs. The Knights, this year they seem to be too reliant on Kalen Ponga. They had another X factor last year when they had Dom Young and Gamble and all those other players, but this year they're too reliant on Kalen Ponga, and if Kalen Ponga is not on, the Knights aren't on. So the Bulldogs keep improving every week, and I think the Bulldogs can get them. And the final game of the round, we've got the Sharks taking on the Cowboys. Sharks are $1.69. The Cowboys are $2.16. The Sharks, they welcome in Sam Stonestreet, who will make his NRL debut on the wing, while Braden Hamlin-Uele returns onto the bench. The Cowboys are unchanged, but reportedly Jack Gajewski will play his final game for the Cowboys after being granted an immediate release to join the Broncos, which means Canterbury forward Harrison Edwards will be joining the Cowboys.
Wow.
So Gajewski will be joining the Broncos as their back row stocks are a bit light at the moment. So Jack Gajewski to the Broncos and Harrison Edwards to the Cows.
Extravagant.
So what do you reckon, Big T, in this one? The Sharks and the Cowboys at Shark Park, as they call it, the Bermuda Triangle on Sunday afternoon.
It's a semi-final football come early. First, fourth. Sharkies on top. Cowboys are fourth. I reckon it's going to be a huge game. I would have even called it game of the round. But yeah, I think it'll be Sharkies in a really, really close one. There'll be 1 or 2 points in it.
And you echo that, Hasman? Sharkies at home on a Sunday afternoon?
No, I'm going the other way. No Billy Burns, no chance.
Oh,
Oh,
on the
you're gonna make
extended
Johnny
bench.
upset.
I've got to get that in there. Got to get it in
You're
there.
gonna upset
Just 'cause
Johnny.
Tony's not here. Just because Tony's not here. I think I'm going to go Cowboys. Cowboys by 4.
Okay.
But I think they're probably going to target Stone Street. Townsend with his bombs. I think they'll be peppering him all bloody day.
Yeah. So Sione Katoa is the one out for the Sharks. He got suspended. I think not too sure what he actually did, but anyway.
He's wearing a bloody Cronulla jersey. What do you expect to happen?
I'm going to go the Sharkies at home Sunday afternoon. As Gus has said, it's the Bermuda Triangle. Weird things happen down at Shark Park, and I think the Sharks, the Cowboys, there's no denying they can score points, but without the ball, they are very questionable. And I don't know if they can keep their spot in the top 8 if they continue defense like that. They've had games this year where they've scored points, but they've leaked in as many points. So I don't think they can do that against the Sharks. The Sharks at home will be specials. I think the Sharks could win by plenty. We'll move into the most important game of the round, though, which is Friday night at Wynn Stadium in Wollongong. The St. George Illawarra Dragons taking on the New Zealand Warriors. Take it away, Hasman. What's your tip?
Okay, I'm going to tip Dragons by 2. I think Sewer and Jackson Ford will both score. And I'm also going to say Ben Hunt to have the kicking game of his life. He was disappointing last week. He knows it. He admitted it, and he'll want to do better.
Are you expecting a big crowd at Wynn Stadium as well? Throw in that.
On a Friday night, possibility of rain.
6 p.m. kickoff.
I hate that time slot.
6 p.m. kickoff. It's a shit time to start a game of football. So, no, I don't think the crowd's going to be particularly big. It'll be bigger than it would have been if we'd lost last week, probably. But it definitely won't be a sellout. In fact, they'll be lucky to get 3/4.
All right.
You echo that, Hasman? Sorry, Big T, I should say.
Yeah. I want to go first try scorer. I'm going to go a bit of a smoky. Raymond Fatola Mariner. He's going to go over. Ball off Hunt. He'll go over.
He's not going to drop the ball over the line this time?
No, he'll score this time for sure.
Off the bench.
He's paying $36 to be first try scorer. So
put some bloody super glue on his hands or something.
Tui Pilotu to score any time in his first game for the Dragons. And this is my thinking. Dragons beat Manly. Manly drew with the White Warriors. Therefore, we beat the Warriors by 2.
That's your theory.
That's my theory.
I like that theory.
I've got plenty of conspiracy theories. They run through my mind. And
if we're going to beat the Warriors, Rob Saguna.
Warriors by 12.
Warriors by 12.
Right. Well, he's off the vodcast. He's gone.
I think it's still going to be positive.
Yeah, I if we can replicate our defense,
he's just kissing after Jazz. That's all he's doing.
Jazz and Christian, yeah.
Yeah.
Do you have a Jackson Ford?
No, we haven't been playing that bad, really. Really, we haven't. Like, we've won 3 games last year in the whole season. We won 5. So
we're more than halfway there.
That's right. So hopefully we can continue our win-loss.
If that pattern continues, we don't want a loss.
That's right. We've
got to change that pattern.
We've got to have a win-win because we had a loss earlier on. So to even it up, we've got to have a win-win.
But yeah, I'm gonna go. If we're gonna win, I'm backing Hasman. I think it's gonna be 2 points. I don't think it's gonna be. I think it's gonna be close. The Warriors are a real physical team and a team that will just go at you all day. Andrew Webster has done a tremendous job with that side, and they look like they're going to be another top 4 side. I know they're not there yet, but there's still a long way in this season to go. I think that they're going to really have to shut down the likes of Sean Johnson, Roger Tuivasa-Sheck, even and Charles Cookstart at the back. And we're going to have to be good alert in defence and play for the whole 80.
Let's stop Adam for Noah Blake from offloading as well.
Yeah, and watch those dummy half passes from Wade Egan close to the line. We're just. I think we're just going to edge them out by 2. I'm going to go Jaden Sewer to sidestep Jackson Ford like he did last Sunday, and against the Tigers, and he'll grab a try. I know Hasman won't like that too much, but I'm sure he'd back Sewer in to get us that win. And I'm going to go. I might go Tua Pilotu to get his the first try on his Dragons debut, and Zach Lomax to get a try at some point as well for his 100th game. I think the Dragons in a tight one, but wouldn't be surprised if the Warriors come away with a win too. The Warriors will be a very difficult side to play, and this might be our toughest game of the season so far. All right. So thank you again for joining us tonight. So proudly sponsored again by Complete Warehouse Solutions. Go see Jeff and the team at 6 Commerce Drive, Lake Illawarra. Contact them on 42571930 or 0417223409. Come on, Dragons fans, fire up!
Very, very part of me. Thank you very much. Ciao, ciao. Can't turn it off, Jess. Oh, here we go.
Tony and the MD crew will do their very best. Hitting up public and on our breast with a red bee on our chest. The Mad Dragon podcast is a sheep of frog ridery. Navigating rants down rabbit holes in the land of big red bees. And so our peddlers speak the tales of friendship is our dream. The Mad Dragon podcast, funded by our team.
Good night, everyone.